She walked in undercover to feel the soul of her restaurant and walked out wondering if it even had one left. They say if you want the truth, watch how people treat someone they think can't do anything for them. That thought echoed in Vanessa Sinclair's mind as she stepped out of her car and looked up at the red and gold neon sign above the front door. Sinclair's Bistro. She hadn't walked through that door as a customer in over a year. As the owner, she was always either in meetings, handling suppliers, or working behind the scenes. But something had been eating at her lately. Anonymous reviews, murmurs from trusted sources, complaints that didn't sound like her bistro. Her gut told her something was off, so she did what most bosses wouldn't. She dressed down, worn jeans with a small tear, a faded gray sweatshirt, and a Dodgers cap pulled low. No one would recognize her like this, not even the folks she paid every 2 weeks. She walked into the bistro at 12:46 p.m., right in the heart of the lunch rush. The smells hit her first. Fresh, baked bread, simmering tomato sauce, and rich espresso. William, her grandfather, used to say food was just love made edible. This place was supposed to feel like that, like him. But as Vanessa stepped in line, something already felt different. No one greeted her, not even a look up and smile. One of the cashiers, Trevor, a tall white guy with a meticulously trimmed beard, was scrolling through his phone while the other, Zoe, chewed gum loudly over the indie music playing through the speakers. "Next," Zoe said without looking up. Vanessa stepped forward. "Can I get the pesto chicken sandwich and roasted potatoes, please?" Still not making eye contact, she tapped on the screen. "That'll be $14.7, $5. Vanessa paid and stepped aside to wait. That's when she heard it. "You see her?" Trevor said, smirking as he pocketed his phone. "Another one of those walk-ins, probably from the community college." Zoe laughed. "Bet she doesn't even tip. They never do. That's what happens when you start letting just anybody in here. Ever since they hired from that rehabilitation program, it's been going downhill fast." Vanessa blinked. "They say the owner's some rich lady, black woman too," she continued. "But she never comes around. Probably sitting in Beverly Hills sipping kombucha. Meanwhile, we're in here doing everything." Trevor chuckled. "Bet she doesn't even know half the people she hired." Vanessa stood perfectly still. They didn't recognize her, not a flicker of familiarity. She should have been angry. She was angry. But under that heat was something colder, disappointment. This place meant something to her. Sinclair's wasn't just about sandwiches and espresso, it was about giving folks a shot. Folks who'd been ignored or locked out, like she had been once. But now, the people wearing her name didn't believe in the very heart of the place. She looked around. A businesswoman frowned at her drink. A young father tried to calm his toddler as he waited for a server who hadn't checked in for 10 minutes. There was no warmth. William wouldn't have recognized this place. Vanessa turned, walked to the counter, and said, "Actually, cancel that sandwich." Trevor barely looked up. "You sure?" "Yeah," Vanessa replied flatly. "Lost my appetite." Then she walked out and sat in her car, staring at the steering wheel. She wasn't sure what hurt more, that they didn't know her or that they didn't care. But she wasn't done. She had to see how deep this problem ran. Vanessa didn't drive off. She watched through the windshield as customers came and went, a student, a construction worker, a couple sliding into a booth. This wasn't just any bistro. This was her grandfather's name glowing above the door, and somehow that light didn't mean anything to the people inside anymore. After 15 minutes, she walked down the street, grabbed a tea from the cafe on the corner, and came back to the alley behind the restaurant. No cameras back there, just a steel door where cooks took smoke breaks, and above it, a cracked kitchen window. That's when she heard more. Someone was laughing, a light, melodic laugh. Sophia, the head chef. Vanessa recognized that laugh from when she'd hired Sophia after a women's shelter recommendation. Sophia had been through hell, but she worked hard and turned her life around. She even mentored the younger kitchen staff now. I'm telling you, Trevor's voice rang out, she ain't never coming back. If she does, she'll probably just walk in all fancy, act like she invented fusion cuisine. Laughter. Yeah, Zoe added, Ms. Ghost Boss, that's what I call her. Got her picture on the wall, but she don't show her face. What kind of boss runs a joint like that? Sophia didn't laugh. Vanessa heard a knife stop chopping. You all know she started this place with $5,000 and a food truck in Venice Beach, right? Sophia said steadily. Yeah, so Zoe, watch your mouth. Sophia muttered. This ain't just a job for some folks. Some of us remember what this place used to mean. A long silence followed. Trevor scoffed. Man, relax. You act like she died. I'm just saying, if she don't care enough to show up, why should we care more than we have to? Sophia exhaled loudly. Keep talking like that and you'll find out real quick why folks don't stick around here. She said, respect goes both ways. Vanessa stepped back from the wall. She didn't know whether to be proud of Sophia or ashamed that Trevor and Zoe had slipped through the cracks. Where had she gone wrong? When did being hands-off become being absent? She remembered William's words. You can't plant a garden and forget to water it, baby. Don't matter how good the seeds are. She'd hired good people, but she'd left them unsupervised, without guidance, without accountability, without her. And maybe that was worse than being a bad boss, being invisible. But before she made any decisions, she needed to hear more, see more. That night, Vanessa sent a group message. Team meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Attendance is required. No exceptions, no explanations. Just enough to rattle them. Then she booked a hotel outside Santa Monica and sat with a notepad, scribbling down every detail she could remember. Tomorrow wasn't about firing anybody, not yet. It was about fixing the soul of the place. But to do that, she had to face the people who were poisoning it and the ones trying to save it. The next morning came fast. At 8:47 a.m., Vanessa sat outside the bistro in her car. No disguise, just a tailored blazer over a simple blouse, dark jeans, and ankle boots. Her usual look when she used to drop by regularly. From the car, she watched each employee arrive. Zoe, late, phone in hand. Trevor, laughing, earbuds in. Sophia, first one in. Already unlocking the side door with a key Vanessa had given her personally. Then others, 2 dishwashers, 3 waitresses, a barista named Dominic, who Vanessa had hired after culinary school when no one else would give him a chance. She waited until 9:00, then stepped out. Heads turned. The first to spot her was Dominic, his eyebrows shot up. Then Sophia, her eyes locked with Vanessa's, giving a barely there nod, respectful, familiar. But Trevor and Zoe froze like someone had pulled their plugs. Vanessa walked past them without a word and entered her own bistro. Inside, the staff had gathered awkwardly near the front, unsure if they should sit or stand. She let the silence hang, then cleared her throat. I won't keep you long, she said, but I need to say some things, and I want you to hear me, really hear me. She paused. This place is named after my grandfather, William Sinclair. He passed 12 years ago, but if you'd ever met him, you'd understand why this place means more than money, or food, or reviews. Dominic's eyes softened. Sophia stood straighter. He was the kind of man who fed people whether they could pay or not, who gave second chances like they were candy, who believed folks weren't broken, just overlooked. She scanned the room. Zoe stared at her sneakers, and Trevor looked like he wanted to disappear. When I started Sinclair's, I wanted to build his kitchen at scale, a place where people could eat, work, laugh, and feel like they belonged. She stepped forward. But yesterday, I walked in and didn't recognize what I built. That got their attention. I came in dressed down, ordered a sandwich, stood right there. She pointed, and I heard two employees talking about the woman who supposedly owns this place, saying she doesn't show up, saying she doesn't care, talking about new hires like they're trash. She didn't need to name names. Everyone knew. I heard it all, and I walked out without my sandwich, without raising my voice, because I needed to understand what went wrong. She looked directly at Zoe, then Trevor. I own this place. I built it with scraped knees and borrowed money, but somewhere along the way, I let things slide. I stopped showing up. That's on me. She took a breath. But that disrespect, that carelessness, that's on you. The room was still, the kind of still that happens when truth sits heavy and no one can dodge it. Zoe finally looked up, her face wearing that half-smile people have when they know they've messed up but won't admit it. Trevor leaned back, arms folded, expression tight, foot tapping nervously. Vanessa stepped closer. "I'm not here to yell," she said calmly, "but I am here to fix this." She glanced at Sophia. "Some of y'all still carry the heart of this place, and I appreciate that more than you know. Others," she turned to the rest, "you've been clocking in, grabbing paychecks, and treating this place like it's beneath you. That ends now." A server named Layla raised her hand slowly. "Ms. Sinclair," she said, "I didn't know you were watching, but thank you for showing up." Vanessa nodded. "I should have done it sooner. I let my distance become confusion, let folks fill in the blanks with stories that weren't true." She addressed them all. "I'm putting everything on the table. New rules, new expectations, but also new chances." She unfolded a paper from her pocket. "Starting next week, we're doing monthly staff check-ins, real ones. I'll be in here twice a week. You'll see my face. And we're reintroducing customer feedback reviews, not online ones, real ones from the people in those booths." Someone muttered, "About time, hopefully." "But listen," she added, her voice hardening slightly. "If you don't want to be here, don't clock in. If you can't bring respect into this building, respect for the people, the food, the purpose, you're free to leave." Nobody walked out. Then she turned toward Trevor and Zoe. "You two, come with me." She walked toward the back, and after a beat, they followed. In the narrow hallway, Vanessa shut the door gently. "I'm giving you this moment to speak freely. Tell me what this place means to you or doesn't." Kendall exhaled and looked away. Zoe folded her arms. I just work here." Trevor said finally, "It's not personal. It's a check." "Then you've been cashing the wrong kind of check," Vanessa replied. "Because this place was never just about food." Zoe looked at her. "Okay, but you weren't around. We felt like it didn't matter." "Fair," Vanessa admitted. "That's on me. But how does that justify talking about other staff like they're garbage or mocking the same woman who signs your checks?" Zoe looked down. "No," she said quietly. Vanessa continued, "I'm not firing you, not today. Maybe what this place needs isn't fewer people but better ones, ones who learn. But you've got one shot to prove you belong. Show me you care through how you treat people, and if you can't, walk away." She opened the door and walked out. Back in the main room, the energy had shifted. It wasn't cheerful, but it was alert, focused. "All right, we open in 30. Let's see if William's still in this room." But even as they got to work, she knew this wasn't over, not yet. The lunch rush came at 12:05 p.m. The line curved near the door. Regulars mixed with first-timers, kids asking for extra fries, a woman reading a newspaper while sipping tea. Vanessa stood near the coffee station, quietly watching. Dominic handled the coffee bar expertly. Sophia moved through the kitchen like a conductor. Layla smiled at each table, cracking jokes that got laughs. But at the register, things were shaky. Zoe was trying. She smiled more, stood straighter, said thank you sincerely. But it was awkward, like new shoes not broken in. Trevor stayed quiet, took orders quickly, avoided eye contact. By 12:46, Vanessa watched a young woman in a faded hoodie walk in, nervous and fidgety. Zoe glanced at her, then quickly looked away. Trevor stepped back. That's when Sophia walked out from the kitchen, wiping her hands. She nodded at the young woman and said, "You got this." The girl hesitated, then ordered a veggie wrap. Vanessa watched Zoe glance at Trevor, who turned away. "Order up in 10." Zoe mumbled. When the line cleared, Vanessa approached the counter. "You know who that was?" Zoe blinked. "No. Should I?" "Name's Harper Reed. Just started the rehabilitation program last week." Zoe's mouth opened slightly. "She's not dangerous or broken. She's just trying to start over, like many people who've worked here." Zoe's face changed, a flicker of guilt, maybe understanding. Vanessa turned to Trevor, who looked like he wanted to disappear. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "Don't say it to me. Say it through how you treat the next 10 people." Later, Harper got her food. Sophia handed it to her personally with a smile and a gentle touch on the shoulder. That was the spark. The rest of the shift ran smoother than in weeks. By day's end, the tip jar was full, the kitchen spotless, and people lingered after their meals. The next morning, Vanessa gave everyone a choice: stay and commit to the bistro's values, or leave with 2 weeks' pay and a recommendation. By mid-morning, Sophia was first to sign to stay. "This place saved me. Time to return the favor." Dominic and Layla followed. Zoe decided to leave. "I don't think I was built for a place like this. I was chasing a paycheck." "You need people who chase purpose." Vanessa didn't argue. Trevor came last, after closing. "I'm staying," he said, voice steadier. "And I'll earn it this time." Vanessa looked him over. "Then don't make me regret it." He cracked a small grin. "You won't." 1 week later, Sinclair's felt different. Not louder, not busier, just right. The front bell had its familiar ding. The register clicked with rhythm, and the kitchen sang with motion. People greeted customers like neighbors. They joked without biting. They cleaned like it mattered, because now it did. Vanessa watched it all from behind the counter, not out of stress, but because she was home. Dominic slid her a berry crumble with his signature touch. "I fixed it just like William's recipe," he said proudly. She took a bite and smiled. "That's the one. He'd be proud of you." Later, Harper returned, smiling, hoodie off, hair neatly pulled back. She'd landed a bookstore job on Wilshire and stopped by to thank Sophia. "I'm good," she said. "Really? First time I've said that in a while." Sophia squeezed her hand. "That's what this place is for." Word spread the old way, through people. A dad told his brother, a teacher told a colleague, a paramedic brought coworkers on their lunch break. Quietly, Sinclair's became what it was always meant to be again. Not perfect, but alive. Vanessa walked out to the lot alone. She leaned against the building, staring at the sign above. That old red and gold neon had a flicker now, but she didn't call an electrician. She liked the imperfection. It reminded her the place still had room to grow, like the people inside. Sophia stepped out behind her. "You heading out?" "In a few," she said, "just giving myself a minute." "You good?" Vanessa nodded slowly. "I think I am." Sophia handed her a folded note. "Customer left this. Said it was for the owner." It was handwritten. "Been coming here since you opened. Thought I lost the feeling when it changed, but today it felt like William again. Whoever he was, I can tell he's still here. Thank you." She read it twice and tucked it away like something too important to leave behind. Because no matter what you build, it's not the walls or the name that makes it worth something. It's the people who protect the spirit behind it. Culture needs maintenance, respect needs reminding, and second chances need space to grow. Show up for your people, your purpose, and yourself.